Hello, sir.
Yes.
My question is goes somewhere of this sort. It's with certain quantity of Kashmiris coming out in support of certain anti-social elements, and the youth considering them as their role models, very much evident from the recent happenings. What do you think should be done to deal with this particular issue?
Unpopular answer, politically incorrect answer. India cannot be a soft state there. I'm not asking India to be an armed state or let's say a police state, but it must necessarily use sedition laws and it must necessarily use whatever is needed to tell people, fall in line, otherwise India will not relent. That is something that India must not pussyfoot around at all. You want demilitarization of that particular place, then please change your attitude towards India. Only then that is possible. Accession has happened. There is no question of you moving away from India. This divorce is not possible. Neither will there be a talaq-e-biddat, nor will there be a proper talaq also. There is no talaq. This is a marriage for eternity. I don't have much to contribute otherwise for the simple reason because I'm crystal clear in my head, in my own headspace, that as long as you continue to see the traditions of this particular country through a Western prism, through a Western eyes, through a Western lens, you will find nothing positive in this country. It just so happens that the fundamental point that we were trying to place before the court, that there is a distinction between diversity and discrimination, was understood only by the woman on the bench when this was a case of women's rights. The men were busy liberating women.
It's time to escape, but I don't know where the fuck.
My question to you is, today, passions are being stoked by different groups, be they separatists, the Indian Army, the armed forces, let me put it this way, or the Pakistan Army, all in the name of betterment of people of Kashmir. So in reality, it is nothing but a one-way bridge. Don't you think it's time we burn the barricade and retain the bridge and make it a two-way bridge?
How would that practically work? Explain. There's a decent chance that I am dense. So explain to me practically how would that work? What is the solution according to you? Retain 370?
My solution is, yes, in today's times we have a lot of employment opportunities, a lot of educational institutions being set up in Kashmir, in the state of Jammu and Kashmir as well as outside, so that the people of Kashmir can come out and
Understood. Come to the
lead
point.
a life.
So therefore what?
Therefore, I think...
So hasn't India already established a two-way street by giving all these opportunities? Has India said that we will deprive you of the benefits?
That's not enough. You cannot have...
Okay, then what is the
You are
extra?
having a lot of restrictions. You are having, you know, time and time again, you impose curfews.
May I just make this request?
Sorry.
No. May I just make this request? I deal with specifics. So if you have a specific point to make, tell me, these are the restrictions that India has imposed without any justification, and this is the single biggest reason for hatred of India. Spell it out and I'll respond to it. Let's be very specific, point for point. Start. Go ahead.
No, I do not wish to...
No, ma'am, I'm saying when you make such a point, particularly on a sensitive issue such as this, the problem always is this, and this is not a personal statement. Generalities and platitudes and vague statements don't work. You will have to say something specific. You accuse somebody of something, can you say you're a bad person?
No,
Why
I'm
am I
not
bad?
accusing.
Explain.
I'm not accusing. I'm just talking
Then
about
what is it that
reality.
India should do more than it has already done? Allow a plebiscite? Allow a referendum? Out of question. Next.
I'm just asking for a little more freedom for expression.
What freedom of expression are you talking about? Which is to effectively allow slogans against the existence of India? That is a non-negotiable. I will never buy peace or accept peace at the expense of dignity. You're already paying the price for it. That has happened in Delhi. Okay,
Then why
we have come
do
to
you
that
talk
extent.
about, why do you talk about burning the bridges? A bridge is most essential for
No,
that.
not at all. The existence of the bridge, effectively, after a certain point of time, they'll say, 12 saal to ho gaye, wahan pe baith gaye, to ho gaya, permanent ho gaya. That's not how it's going to work. Sorry. That bridge has existed all along, and you have pampered vested interests enough. India must take a strong position. That is not the same as saying that you must crush all voices. But you must certainly tell voices that an anti-India position will have consequences. And after the instrument of accession and after the Kashmir Constitution of 1956, no statement of accession is legal. Forget ethical or moral. It is sedition.
I've been made a specific request that as much as possible, if we could speak in both English and Hindi for the benefit of the audience, that would help. Sure, great, okay. So I'll start with my first question. I'm so sorry.
No, this is the culture of India that all three South Indians are sitting and you're asked to speak in Hindi. Good.
Just a small correction, sir. I'm an Indian from the South, not a South Indian.
Indian first, okay. Good.
So, whenever I'm angry, my mother tongue will immediately come to my tongue. Or the language that I use more often, which is Delhi's lingo, will immediately come. Right? What does it tell you? That notwithstanding all the external stimulus that is put on human behavior, nature is nature. Training is training. Genetics is genetics to a significant extent. Conditioning and surroundings also have an impact on genetics, but it will automatically come to you, which means policies which are completely at loggerheads with the native pulse of this land will never find acceptance, and they will never be implemented. Let me give you a simple example. The state's role in alcohol production is a relatively new phenomenon because traditionally almost every Indian home used to brew its own alcohol without any state interference. Ganja today has acquired a negative status. Just try and read the Indian Drug Hemp Commission report of 1893-1894 written by the British. They wanted to ask themselves, can we bring in a law to stop the consumption of this because it is an intoxicant? They arrived at the conclusion that this is so native to this country, it is so ingrained in its cultural practices, and it is nowhere comparable to alcohol or anything else, that let's not interfere with it. That was the Britishers' decision with respect to ganja. When was it banned in India for the first time? 1985, because of a global movement. And the global movement has come a full circle, where close to 36 states in America have legalized ganja. And now we are wondering, oh, master ने अब तो उल्टा कर दिया, मैं क्या करूं? उसने तो पलटी मार दी. मेरी sense of originality तो घट गया.
Ganja is thick when I test and I'm a pain. Ganja is the medication.